Hello and welcome to Rando Tech Info, and today we're reviewing the 25,000 milliamp hour solar power bank from Tranmix. In the box with this thing you can expect to find a micro USB cable, a warranty card, the instruction manual, and of course the solar power bank itself. And actually I think, yeah, that side was thinking German. So yeah, this is the English side, instructions. It does come with English instructions if you are a North American purchaser. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the numbers of this product. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because you can just go to the website and see them yourself, but it's got a 25,000 milliamp hour battery, 4 solar panels totaling 6 watts, 5 volts input, 5 volts output, all pretty standard stuff for a power bank or a solar power bank like this. It weighs a little over 1 pound and it has an IP rating of 6.5, which we will be testing out later. Other features of this device include the charge lights on the side that show you the amount of charge that the device has in blue. There's also a green charging light on the side that lets you know if the device is currently receiving a charge. A flashlight with 3 different flash settings, dual ports so you can charge up to 2 devices at a time. It also has this cool little snap on it that actually keeps the solar panels from opening up or falling open when you're not actually trying to charge it with the sun. So that's not a feature you find on all solar power banks, so I think that's actually really nice. The other thing about this that I wanted to mention is it does have an auto shut off when you're charging your devices when that device is full. This is actually a really neat feature. A lot of times when you charge your device, say overnight, and it fully charges, if it uses power during the night and then it keeps recharging that last little bit of power, that can actually damage the health of your battery. But with something like this, because it auto shuts off once the device is full, you don't have to worry about that. When you charge your device with this, it'll stop charging when it's full and it will save you some battery health. So next, let's talk about how long it takes to charge this sucker up. It is a big battery at 25,000 milliamp hours, and for me it took about 14.5 hours to charge it up from 0 to full, which is pretty standard for other power banks of this size. The only thing I found a little bit disappointing with it was it didn't have a USB-C port. Some power banks come with both ports, USB-C and micro USB, so you can use whichever one you want. So you don't have to carry around an additional cord based on the cord you're already carrying around with you. But the one thing I will say is it didn't really make it take longer to charge the power bank. Other power banks that I have, even if they have USB-C, still only have 5 volt inputs, which is what this has. So it's really not taking longer to charge it up compared to other power banks. You just don't have the versatility with the cord that you can use, but the cord is small, so it's really not a big deal. Now, charging this thing with the sun predictably will take much longer. So charging it outside, you can't really get much of a charge at all inside. So charging outside for 14 hours a day in direct sunlight, chasing the sun, making sure it's never in the shade, you can expect this thing to take every bit of a week to get fully charged. And that sounds like a long time, and it is, but you have to keep in mind you can always charge it with the wall. The solar charging panels just give it a little bit of extra functionality for honestly not a lot of extra cost. So if you're out in the wilderness for a few days and you've got some good sun, you will get yourself a little bit of extra power with the solar panels. They are worth it, I think, for the cost, but just understand with any solar power bank, you're not going to get a ton of power in a short amount of time. And something you need to know about all solar power banks is that getting a good charge inside through glass is almost impossible. You have to charge the thing outside. And if you're going to be charging it outside, there's a very good chance occasionally you're going to have to deal with some weather. Now, I wanted to test this thing's IP rating outside in the rain, but unfortunately during my testing period of this power bank, it never really rained, so I had to use my very sophisticated weather simulation chamber to test its weather resistance. So I'm here in my very sophisticated weather simulation chamber, and as you can see, I've had this thing getting pretty wet. It's been in here for about 15 minutes, so let's see how it held up. So I'm pleased to report that after the weather simulation test, the power bank still works totally and perfectly fine. There is this flap on the back, which, or on the side, I guess. Top? The side? I'm not sure. There's this flap right here that does protect the USB ports from water getting inside, so I definitely recommend you closing this when you're charging it outside, just to help give it that extra protection in the rain. This was shut during the simulation, and I can tell you that after 15 minutes of that heavy downpour, it still works great. Now, after you get the thing fully charged, just how much charge is 25,000 milliamp hours of charge? Well, it charged my Pixel 2 XL 2 times, it charged my OnePlus 7T 1 time, it topped off my iPad a couple of times, and it ran the Nanny Cam and Noisemaker in the nursery in our house for a solid 2 hours. And that Nanny Cam is a battery hog. So if you're just using it to charge your smartphone, you could definitely get 3 or 4 charges out of it for sure, depending on the size of the battery on your phone. It's going to charge your devices multiple times. It is a big battery, so I think you can feel good about the life in the battery once it's charged. So what are my final thoughts on this solar power bank? Well, statistically, it's pretty much what you would expect when it comes to charging other devices, when it comes to receiving its own charge, either via the wall or via solar charge. It's pretty much what you would see from other solar power banks in this price range. It has most of the features you would expect to see at this price point, including dual USB ports, a micro USB charging port, a flashlight, and a 4-light charging indicator. But unlike some other solar power charging banks at this price point, it has the snap to keep it closed up when you're not using the panels. It has an official 6.5 IP rating. The lack of USB-C port is a little bit disappointing, but when you consider that this thing is under $40 and it's very competitively priced, this is a really nice product for the money, and I can actually wholeheartedly recommend this solar charging power bank for its price. It's one of the best ones that I have used, and I think if you get it, you're going to definitely be satisfied with the results. Well, that's all the useful information I have today about the Tranmix solar power bank. What are your thoughts about solar power banks? Are they gimmicky? Are they silly? Are they not worth the extra bulk and the little bit of added cost? Or are they a nice added bit of functionality to help you when you're out and about for not a lot of extra cost? Let me know your opinion down in the comments. As always, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Random Tech Info, signing out.